If the home has an attic, a basement, or a crawl space, and there are multiple outlets or the outlet is on an interior wall, you may have to route the cable through that area. When cables are routed in a basement, an attic, or even a crawl space, they should be properly attached to the structure to keep them from becoming a hazard and to protect them from damage. In most construction, insulation is only used on exterior walls. Most interior walls are hollow. A footer and header seal them at the bottom and top. You need to be aware that some walls have a cross stud approximately 4 feet from the floor, referred to as a fire break. This cross stud can make it difficult to drop a cable from the attic to the ideal receptacle location. It can be detected with a stud finder, and some installers have drill bits specially designed to drill through it. Running cable from the attic or basement through an interior wall is known as a wall fish, and in some cases is the only way you can get a cable to the TV's location. The first step in completing a wall fish is to determine where you're going to put the outlet and where the studs are. Electrical and other utility boxes are usually attached to a stud, so you can use an outlet as a reference point. Next, we need to determine what type of enclosure we'll be installing. The three basic types of enclosures are the standard outlet box, the drywall box, and the mud ring. The boxes are available in plastic or metal. The standard utility box is attached to a wall stud with nails or screws. The drywall box has clips that attach to the drywall, which allow you to place it anywhere in the wall regardless of stud locations. Whichever enclosure you use, make sure you measure the piece to be cut out exactly. Mark the wall using a level, the box you're going to use, or a template. Drill out a hole in the opposite corners. With a drywall saw, cut out the hole. Now that we have a relatively large hole in the drywall, we can feed the cable from the attic or the basement through the wall to the outlet location. A coat hanger or a piece of ground wire can be bent to hook the cable inside the wall and pull it to the opening. With the cable pulled to the outlet, pull a few inches of slack. Feed the cable through a knockout in the wall box and install connectors. Connect the cable you just ran to the wall plate and your wall box is complete. Not all wall fishes will go this smoothly, but as you get more familiar with them, you'll develop your own techniques. In fact, wall fishing is a skill that develops with time and experience. If you aren't sure you can safely do a wall fish, you shouldn't try it. Get someone that has experience to show you how. Also, if you are in an attic, be very careful when you're walking. More than one installer has stepped through a ceiling. There's a lot to learn to be good at wall fishing. We'll cover it in more detail in another session. With your wall plate completed, it's time to route the cable to the IRD. Here are some things to keep in mind when you're doing this. The ideal situation is to have the cable penetrate directly behind the home entertainment equipment. If this isn't possible, you'll need to route cable along an interior area. We recommend that you route the cable from the wall plate down to the floor along the bottom of the baseboard to the IRD location, making sure to properly secure the cable. Make sure the cable is as short as possible, but leave enough slack so the customer can move his equipment to clean or service. In some instances, cable can be routed under the edge of the carpet. Tack strips are usually far enough away from the wall to allow placement of the cable between the tack strip and the wall. In most cases, cable can be run below the baseboard. Caution should be used when working with tack strips. They can easily damage the cable. By pushing the carpet towards the wall, it will reattach itself to the tack strip. Every effort should be made to return the carpet to its original appearance. If you can't install a wall outlet, you may need to route cable directly through the carpet. This can be done by cutting an X in the carpet and the pad, holding them apart and drilling through. A piece of ground wire can be used to help you locate the hole you drilled under the house and to pull the cable up through the floor. When the cable is inserted in the hole, the carpet will seal around it, making it virtually invisible. Whatever you do, Never drill directly through the carpet. Avoid drilling through pergo and hardwood floors. They are very expensive to repair and many customers don't want them damaged. Make sure the customer knows what you're going to do and agrees before drilling into any flooring surface. This is something you will have discussed with the customer during your initial site survey. Telephone jumpers are much easier to hide than RG6 cable, and they have a tighter bending radius. In most cases, an existing telephone outlet can be reached from the IRD without having to install a new outlet. If a telephone outlet is not available, you'll have to install one. You can do this by routing a dedicated telephone line from the service box outside to your preferred location. Remember, the telephone junction box has two sections, one for the customer use and the other restricted for telephone company use only. Connect your outlet to the consumer side. Follow the color code. If you have to install a telephone outlet, follow the same process you did for the RG6 cable. If possible, run both wires at the same time. The same hardware and installation techniques work on telephone outlets. Let's take a few minutes to review what we've talked about today. First, we discussed the importance of using only quality, approved cable, connectors, and attachment hardware. We compared DirecTV cable with cable TV cable and learned that most cable TV company standards are too low for our high frequency and our need to pass voltage. We looked at how sharp bends or wrong attachment devices can damage cable and weaken the performance of the entire system. We looked at grounding and ground circuit routing and the importance of abiding by the National Electric Code. We pointed out how dangerous it is to drill without first making sure where your drill bit will end up, and discussed different types of home construction and how they differ. We covered crawl space, basement, and attic routing. Next, we fished a wall and installed the wall box, then discussed the telephone cable routing. I'm Patrick with DirecTV's Technical Training Department. We hope this video provided you with information that will help you do your job better and faster. And remember, professionalism shows in every job. The less you see of the install, the better the job.